Pash Fam, it's Paula, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to get back on track with your goals if you've fallen off. Now, nobody's perfect. I know that I'm not perfect myself, so it's completely natural to occasionally fall off, but today I'm going to be providing some tips and questions for you to reflect on that will help you realize that actually you can get back on track with your goals. First of all, if you're finding that you're getting off track, then it's a good thing to question yourself on why you set the goal in the first place. Now, I've talked in a previous video about defining your why, and all of those tips still apply here, but your why is really what is your motivator and keeps you on track with your purpose for your goal. As somebody who has pursued goals without a purpose, it's pretty much a struggle if you're just doing something because you're not really aware why you're doing it. But I invite you to really think about who you're doing this goal for. Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it because it's an expectation that's been set of you? Are you doing it just because you've had the goal for a long time and you're just like, I should do this because I wrote it down? I think it's really important to remember that your goals belong to you and you don't belong to your goals. It's really important that you recognize that you have power over that situation. So a personal example of that is I got my master's degree in higher education. I applied to maybe 14 different jobs after I graduated and didn't land an interview with any single one of those applications. And after a while, I asked myself, is this really what I want? I found myself doing it because I spent all this time on this degree, so it makes logical sense for me to pursue a job in the field. In the end, I realized that's not really what I wanted to do. I mean, I think it would have been great to be a counselor, but now I get to be here in front of all of you talking about how to empower yourselves with planning, and that's something that I'm truly passionate about. So the question that arises from that is, when it comes to your goals, do you need to decrease or do you need to release? By decrease, you're just maybe taking a step back, scaling back your goals so that it's more realistic for you to achieve. If you need to release it, it's really because it's not serving the purpose that you really want it to anymore. When you think about releasing a goal, don't think of it in the context of failure. Think of it as a way to make room for things that you actually really want to do and things that you're passionate about doing. With that, I'm going to leave you with one finishing thought, and that is that it's so much easier to pursue a challenging goal that you're committed to versus pursuing an easy goal that you don't really know why you're doing it. The second question you can reflect on is if your goal is too strict or not strict enough. Now, if you're so militantly attached to your goals, it can lead to goal fatigue because you are depriving yourself of so many things by trying to achieve this one goal. It can even be at the cost of your mental health. And the result of that sometimes is that you overindulge and you decide to give up on the goal altogether. Now, the flip side of that is that if you have a goal where it's too fluid, there's not really a certain direction. So a case in point for me is that I chose 4 words for the year, which is gratitude, rest, delight, and trust. Now, for gratitude, I set the goal of writing in my gratitude journal every single day. Now, that's a clear direction. Now, with trust, delight, and rest, I didn't have a particular goal that was attached to any of those things. So the result is me just claiming those as my 2020 words, but I'm not really having actions that correlate to make sure that I'm embodying those things. So as you reflect on why you may have gotten off track with your goals, think about whether it's too strict or not strict enough. Is it that you need to scale back a little bit or you need to provide a little bit more direction for yourself? My third tip for you is to use the right tools. Now that means that maybe your goal is something that you are very passionate about and that you would love to do, but you just don't necessarily have the tools or the right environment to help you achieve it. So what I love about Passion Planner, besides the actual tool itself, is the fact that we offer different inserts for you depending on your goal. We have a finance tracker if you're trying to track your expenses. We have a calorie tracker. We have water tracker, habit tracker. You name it, it's all there. But I want to talk to you a little bit about my own personal goals. And I've talked about this in another video, which was budgeting with Passion Planner. But basically, the finance tracker is really helping me stay committed and aligned with my debt-free journey. Now, another thing that I really enjoy about Passion Planner is that it's so customizable. So this is what my monthly layout looks like. And this is what the original monthly layout looks like. In my monthly layout, I put the finance tracker on there so that every month I'm checking my expenses, I'm checking my income. And I know myself to be somebody who is more committed to something when I write things down. So if that's how you are, then maybe it would be best to step away from using apps or using online sheets for tracking your expenses. At times it cannot be about the goal at all. It's just about making sure that you have access to the right tools and the right support to help you achieve the goal. My fourth tip is to acknowledge roadblocks and find support. People believe that goals are run by motivation and willpower alone, but I don't believe that's the case. I think a lot of it also comes from the resources in the community that you have. Now, I heard this quote once that said that you and Beyonce have the same 24 hours in a day. You don't have any excuses. Now, that quote is great. I love it, but I don't think it paints a complete picture of what everybody's life is like. Beyonce is a multimillionaire. She has access to all different kinds of resources, including a financial advisor, a babysitter, a nutrition coach, a physical trainer, all of these different things that us, maybe just everyday people, have to do by ourselves. So the point of this tip is not to make excuses to not achieve your goals, but to be honest and realistic about what your current circumstances are. And that's why I feel that community is so important. We can't do everything by ourselves. In fact, besides needing just physical resources like tools, it's also important to get encouragement and support along the way. And as somebody who wants to someday create their own content, someday begin my own side hustle, I found that community was the most important part of staying on track with those things. Now, I haven't started yet, but it's really great to be connected with people who are doing the thing, because it helps me believe that I can do it too. So if it is your goal to start a side hustle or maybe begin your own business, then connect with other entrepreneurs. Or if your goal is to become debt-free, connect with a community who is really devoted to their finances. By just surrounding yourself with the right kinds of people, you'd be surprised by how much you can achieve. My fifth and final tip for you is to reflect on the last time that you were laser focused and achieved a goal. If you find that the issue is not the goal, but is actually you, which is great because you're holding yourself accountable, then reflect back on a time where you were laser focused, and this can be a goal big or small. And as you reflect on those times, ask yourself these questions. What was my motivator? What allowed you to stay focused? What does being on track look like for you? And lastly, what is the self-talk that you experience around your goal? Once you're done asking yourself those questions, visualize what it feels like to achieve that goal. That should be a motivator in and of itself. For me, my goal to be debt-free is having financial freedom and being able to go out to dinner with friends and not have to secretly check my bank account to see if I have enough money. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to. Choose a sustainable pace that works for you. If you're being too militant, it can be easy to indulge and just fall off altogether. But if you choose a pace that's like, okay, I'm gonna go hard on this goal and then I'm gonna take a break and then I'm gonna go at it again, then that's the perfect way to stay consistent with your goal. For me, in regards to my own financial goal, is that when I pay off something big, like for example, I'm paying off my car with my tax refund in the next week or so here. Once I'm done paying off that car, I'm gonna use my next pay period to only pay the minimum on my credit cards and use that extra money for something fun for myself. And then that next pay period, I'll be back to paying off my debt again. It just makes sure that you're celebrating the small wins and that your goal is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. And being sustainable and realistic with your pace is going to make your likelihood to achieve the goal all the more realistic. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I know that I work at Passion Planner, but I've been using the Passion Planner for years before I even started here. And Passion Planner helped me be hopeful about my life. I hope that when you use it, it helps you be hopeful too. We're not gonna promise that everything is going to happen right away or quickly, but what I can guarantee is that if you do commit to yourself and if you believe in yourself, that the Passion Planner is going to be there for you and that you're going to be there for yourself, then nothing is impossible. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments actually about a goal that you're going to recommit to or a goal that you're just gonna release and forget about, which is completely okay. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.